Welcome to the Crystal Bar Podcast. I'm Clare, your guide through the fascinating world of crystals and beyond. Whether you're just starting your journey or you're a seasoned enthusiast, I invite you to join me for insightful wisdom to empower your crystal, cosmic, spiritual, and astrological knowledge. So, are you ready? Let's begin. Hi lovelies, it's really good to have you here. Welcome back to another episode. And I just want to start off by saying it's been so lovely. I've had some orders this week, some messages, and on the orders I've had lots of notes. You can do a customer note saying that you're listening to the podcast, you're using the code, and that you're enjoying a certain episode that you're up to. Many messages that you're doing your chores in your home, you're driving on journeys, and you're listening to them back to back. When I'm recording these episodes, I know that some of them are quite specific about the moon at the time or something else that might be happening that week or seasonal, incredible happenings like celebrations. But the fact that you are all listening to them still is just making my day. Many of you have acknowledged that, but say that you're learning a lot because what I might be saying about a certain moon, like the full moon in Scorpio last week or whatever else, it's just, you're taking that forward and that knowledge for the next full moon in Scorpio or Scorpio energy in general. And talking about the full moon in Scorpio, yes, it was 2 days ago. Woof. Okay, I know I didn't really speak about it on the last episode, but oh my gosh, what a moon it was. Did you see it? I didn't. It was so low to the ground, low to the horizon. I didn't get to see it, unfortunately. But the photos I had from, oh my gosh, where were they from? Poland, South Australia. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry if I forget. Oh, Florida, around the UK were just simply sublime. And to share in your moon and your energy and everything else was just wonderful. However, that energy, okay, if you've been feeling a little bit inward and you've been reflecting on your feelings, your past emotions, actually things that you might just skate over a lot and you have been revisiting and looking deep within at how you truly do feel rather than just lying and getting on with life, that's because of this energy, and it's calling you to be honest, work through it, work on it, and come out the other side with a weight lifted off your shoulders. Also, being the full moon in Scorpio, a huge time of transformation, and that has actually given me the inspiration for writing today's podcast script. Do you know what? I honestly feel like we're just sitting down for a cozy catch up today. Maybe you've got a cup of tea, maybe you're listening whilst out for a walk. Either way, I just want this to feel like a soft space for you to land this week. Because today, as I've just alluded to, we are diving into something really real: change. Growth, and what it really means to follow your truth. I know it can feel big, it can feel overwhelming, and sometimes really messy, oh yes, but also it can be deeply, soulfully worth it. So let's go there together, shall we? Shall we have a little chit chat and discuss why change is actually quite important in your life? When I look back at life's different chapters, from being a baby to a wild kid and then through those awkward teen years into adulthood, I can't help but think, wow, we really grow through so much, and we don't often stop to give ourselves credit for that. Do we? Perhaps you do. I know I don't. But as babies, our whole job is to just feel safe. That's it. It's just to exist, feel safe, and start learning. We're like these little energy sponges picking up the vibes around us as babies, learning what's safe and what's not. Then as kids, as children, we start asking questions like, who am I? What do I like? What is this? And we don't realise it at the time, but that's where our inner voice starts forming. Then comes adolescence. Oh gosh, yes. Hormones, independence, rebellion, comparison, creativity, confusion, all wrapped up in one chaotic, beautiful mess. I always think of the teenage years as this sort of emotional chrysalis, like we're dissolving everything we thought we knew and starting to rebuild from the inside out. And then we reach adulthood. And honestly, a lot of us are just trying to remember who we were before the world told us who to be. Yes, that is so true. Say that again. Oh, a lot of us, as we reach adulthood, we're trying to just remember who we were before the world told us who to be. We carry so many versions of ourselves, and growth often looks like peeling back those layers to find the inner truth. Now, following your truth sounds beautiful, doesn't it? And it is, but it can also be quite messy. Because once you start really listening to that little voice inside, your intuition, that feeling in your belly, the stirrings, your knowing, things actually do start to shift. When you realize you can say no to things and yes to others, when you realize you're not chained to one line of path, you can step on a plane tomorrow if you want and just change your whole life. Okay, that might be drastic, but you catch my drift. Things do start to shift though when you start following your gut instinct, your intuition, and making decisions for you. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to press that one if you heard that still. Hang on. There we go. Now, as we follow our truths, or you follow your truth, maybe you feel called to leave a job that's draining you, or maybe certain friendships feel a little off, or maybe you're just being pulled towards something totally new, something that excites you and terrifies you at the same time. As you know, I've been there, and let me tell you, those curveballs, woof, they're part of it. Sometimes people just don't understand the changes you're making. Sometimes you don't even understand them yourself. But deep down, your soul just knows. It knows what alignment feels like. And once you've felt that, you can't go back to shrinking just to make others comfortable. So if you're navigating big change right now, know that you aren't broken. You're becoming. Things are moving in your favor. Now, I don't know if you've heard of a little thing called emotional resilience. This is something that I had to really work on growing up and becoming a teenager early adulthood. Early adulthood. Starting my relationship with my now husband. It wasn't emotional resilience to him. It was just about unlearning things that I'd learned through childhood, etc., and becoming a better version of myself. And here's something I remind myself often. You don't have to have it all figured out to be growing. Emotional resilience isn't about being strong all the time. It's about learning to sit with the messy bits and still come back to yourself with compassion. Emotional resilience is about learning to deal with others and their expectations and not overreacting to situations that just really aren't that important. It's about being able to deal with things with a level head and knowing your worth and dealing with things in a way that suits you. Life will teach you things even when you didn't ask for the lesson. Rejection might teach you that you were never meant to fit in that space. Failure might be redirecting you to something even better. And grief, we all have to go through it. Awful, but often that opens us up to a level of compassion we didn't even know we had. Resilience is the courage to keep your heart open through it all and to say, do you know what, this is hard, but I trust that there's something here for me. Now, I couldn't talk about navigating change without bringing in some crystal magic. So let's talk about a few of my favourite companions for times like this. Now, I have shared a great post regarding crystals for change on my social media, Facebook, Instagram, and I think I shared it on Threads. But just be assured that whatever you feel you're going through, as I always say, the right crystal will always find you. But there are specific crystals that can help with different things, okay? You'll find that information there. Oh, excuse me. But I thought I would also share a few here with a few additions to that list. So, firstly, Moonstone. Now, Moonstone is amazing. You can either get it in Rainbow Moonstone, you can get it in Peach Moonstone, generic Beautiful Moonstone. Sorry, I just had to pause then to have a little drink. My voice is going all croaky. But Moonstone, let's get back to it. This one is like a wise, gentle guide. It helps you flow with cycles, honour emotions, and step into new beginnings without fear. And then part of the same family, you've got Labradorite. Now, Labradorite, I think many of you probably know this crystal, but oh my gosh, it is pure transformation vibes. It's almost like a shield for your energy while you go through the unknown. Plus, it's so mystical. I always feel more connected to my magic with this one and nearby. It's really good when I'm doing readings. You've then got rose quartz. If change is bringing up emotional stuff, or if you've been hard on yourself, rose quartz is like a warm hug for your heart. Smoky quartz, grounding, steadying, and so good for releasing fears. It reminds you to stay rooted whilst everything else is shifting. And I don't know if you saw where did I share? Oh, yeah, on social media. I've been sharing that a lot recently because it's great for Scorpio as well. And fluorite. Oh my goodness. Fluorite is something I wear every day. And when your brain is full of what ifs and decision fatigue, fluorite cuts through the fog and helps you think clearly. Now, you don't need all of them. Just pick the one that speaks to you and let it be your anchor. So let's pause for a second. Breathe with me. Inhale, hold for 4, and exhale for 4. Inhale for 4, hold for 4, and exhale for 4. Can you feel how far you've come? Even if you're in the middle of a messy moment, even if nothing feels certain, you're doing the best you can. You're learning, you're growing, and that deserves to be honoured. Change isn't always comfortable, but it's always guiding you somewhere deeper, somewhere more aligned with your truth. Just trust that even if the path feels wobbly right now, things will be okay. You've overcome your worst days before, and things will get better. If this change is exciting and invigorating, just know it will only get even better than this. But before we go, I want to leave you with a little affirmation. Maybe you might want to write it down or whisper it to yourself as you start the day. And the affirmation is, I trust the unfolding of my life. Every change is guiding me closer to my truth and my highest good. I trust the unfolding of my life. Every change is guiding me closer to my truth and my highest good. You can say this as often as you need. You've got this, okay? Change doesn't need to be scary. The universe will put you on the right track. And just remember though, trust in your intuition. However, just one quick thing actually. As I said, as we navigate change and suddenly our mind opens to becoming ourselves, just remember that as we grow up, we are obviously we're taught a lot by our parents, our friends, our teachers, and it can become a little bit tricky as you go into early adulthood because sometimes, as I quite rightly said, you are unlearning a lot of this as you face the world yourself and suddenly dealing with all these challenges yourself. And just know it's normal to feel anxiety. It's normal to feel stress. Not everybody floats through life with ease and with the best support that some others can have. It's normal to go through upset and to feel a little bit wobbly from time to time. But this is all about discovering yourself, self-exploration. And with this becomes that resilience, that courage, that strength. And then one day you'll just sit there and feel contentment like you've never felt it. So just go with that. Don't argue, don't fight. And just remember, if you are struggling with change and a direction your life may be going, there is professional help out there, okay? This is just a generic, quite a loose discussion, this podcast. But everybody obviously experiences life differently and has different ideas of what's right and what's wrong. As long as you feel comfortable, you're healthy, you're happy to your happiness that you want to feel, you feel loved, you love yourself and respect yourself, then that's a good thing. If not, then don't hold back in working on yourself. Okay, you're allowed to put you first. And as I say, follow that gut instinct, okay? Stay safe though. And do reach out to friends, to families, to professionals if you feel you need to. After that little chit chat, I do have one question. So let's go to that. It's actually not change related. This week I've been having a lovely conversation with a wonderful soul who's got an elderly dog actually who's suffering with some arthritic pain. And her question was that she wanted recommendations for crystals for animals, but specifically arthritis in older dogs. And I recommended to her clear quartz for healing and amethyst, as amethyst is a great anti-inflammatory crystal and it's safe for dogs. It's not toxic. Quartz, I mean, obviously you don't want them to eat it, but if you want to create some water with crystal infused water, what you could do is leave the dog bowl or put some water in the fridge with clear quartz and amethyst in. Take those out and then feed that to your dog for healing. You can also place it on their joints or wherever they're feeling pain. You can safely place those into water, as long as as your dogs don't like eating rocks and stones, for their bath. You could also create some water to pour on their joints or to press onto their joints gently, warmly. So that was my suggestion. However, I'd love to hear from you. Those of you who use, in fact, I do have a little update. I do have some things coming for animals. More on that later or a later date. I've got some crystally things. But if you use crystals on your animals, I'd love to hear from you and how they've helped, etc., etc. Just one thing, my poor old dog Louis that's no longer with us, I used to use a clear quartz as he was lying down in his aura field, just sweep it around his body, and I'd imagine like a golden light coming from the clear quartz and just calming him and keeping him pain-free, and it really did help. So that was just my little, what I used to do. But anyway, I've digressed. We've completely digressed from the whole theme of this podcast. So yeah, thank you for being here with me. If this episode spoke to you at all, please do leave a comment. I would appreciate that. Or, head over to Instagram and say hi. But just remember, my lovelies, you are never alone in your journey, okay? The universe, your friends, whoever is always listening, always holding you and always supporting you. Have a wonderful week. I hope that the sun continues to shine for you and lots of love and light sent your way. And remember, the right crystal will always find you. Before you go, I have a very special discount code for you, especially for those of you who love buying crystals. So, the code is Podcast Crystal. If you use this at checkout at thecrystalbar.co.uk, you will get a very secret discount. And yes, it is a secret because I changed the value of the code throughout the year. So who knows what discount you will receive. But I hope you've enjoyed today's episode. I hope you found it beneficial. And if you have, I'd be really grateful if you could just leave a comment, leave a review, and of course, if you have a friend who loves crystals just like us, please do share it with them. Sending you love, sending you light. Have a great week because honestly, my lovelies, you really do deserve it. And as I said earlier, remember, the right crystal will always find you.